Sorry, guys. I had to do a part two. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. I had to let this all out. Because it's been a few days since I released the movie. What was I talking about? I was talking about the Ghostface killer attacking people and all that. And my mom was the only body count, and people were thinking other people died. Like I said, it was just trying to scare Sydney. So that's the topic right there I was talking about. Now it's on to Scream 4. Like I said, I watched the Bio channel. It was great that they showed Scream 4 footage and all that. That whole hype. But I'm really, really scared that this movie's gonna suck. Because, they said that the ending at the end is too long, and it just goes on and on and on. And I think that was the issue with my movie, too, is because you find out it was all a dream, but then it dragged. Like, it went on to Woodsboro Island, and then it went on to Cassidy, put on the mask, and it was much more longer. Because in the original ending, like I said, I had to do Plan B. The character Sydney, Officer Dell was going to arrest her at the end when she admitted or killed her mother. And in the original script, she just got arrested and she got locked up in mental hospital, and that was the end of the movie. It wasn't a dream, it was all experiment. So that was the first draft that I wrote in April. Then it got changed a little bit where it was a dream because of the snow and the fall and all that. Then it got changed because Robert couldn't come in and finish his parts where she arrested her, and it was like it was a great ending because it had like the time song, like that whole epicness, and she was gonna look back at her friends, and they gave like that look at her, and like and then he was gonna drive off, and there was gonna be a shot of him driving off, and there was like this big wide shot, and I thought that was really, really cool. But I felt like I could finish that story without him, and it was great that I could. It may not have been the best. Don't you hate that when people do that in videos where they do something else, where they stop talking and they're like, "What are you doing?" But sorry, I think my voice is changing. Excuse me. I think by the next movie, my character's going to have shorter hair, and my voice is going to change. I'm giving all the actors a much more different look in the next movie. Every single character is going to look different, especially without recasting a few actors because they don't want to do the second one, or they're not available, or stupid stuff like that. So you'll be seeing a whole brand of new actors, but you'll see kind of old cast coming back, like me and Brandon and his brother Nick, who was Ghostface, I guess. And then you'll see Officer Dell come back. I think Robert will be available. If not, I got my Uncle Gary. He can kind of take over because he looks like the actor Robert. Angela, who played that cop in that one scene, she was like, let's go, like that cop girl. She's coming back, so that's really, really exciting. So you'll be seeing a few actors come back, but there'll be a lot of new ones. So that was another update. Now I want to get on Scream 4. I'm sorry, I had to finish everything on my movie. Now I'm on to Scream 4. There's been a few clips I've seen, and there was one about which Shania Grams. It's like, I have a Facebook stalker. He keeps leaving messages saying like, hey, you're hot, I want to kill you. So report him. He's really hot though. You want to see? That's Channing Tatum. Hello? Who is this? The more impatient person you're trying to reach. I know what she said. I'm sorry, eat me. If you hate about me, I'll cut you to your neck until I feel bone. And the thing is, he's much more brutal now. I don't like that. The great thing about Ghostface is he was smooth with them. You know what I mean? Like in the originals, like Ghostface was really calm, and that's what made him scary. Like I mean, he would have those loudness parts in a few parts, but like if you've seen for the trailers, he's usually like angry, like he's aggressing at them. None of the above. Like he gets angry about that stuff, and it's like, I think that's too much. You know what I mean? Like he should be like, none of the above. And he's like, if you ain't by me, I'll cut your neck until you feel bone. And like try to be kind of smooth with them. And I think I find that more scarier than him shouting at him. But it doesn't really matter. Another thing is the scene which I love, is he's like, you'll die when I want you to. If not before then, you're gonna suffer. And like, and of course that just shows that Olivia dies, but she didn't get thrown out the window. She got butchered and got thrown out the window. That got put back. Jill freaked out. What the thing is, the reason she is the killer, and you could just tell why. And of course, her and Charlie are, because it's so obvious. Right when the phone was done, she came in. It's kind of suspicious, and she's like, "She dead?" And she's like, "Stay right there." And then she had this saying, like, it was so weird. She's like, "She said you were the angel of death." Like, did that mean that's why they killed Olivia? Because maybe Jill got mad at her because she called her cousin the angel of death, and maybe that's why she or probably, of course, Charlie, because he was in this other house, and I think she knew, like, she was probably talking to Charlie, like, okay, I'll come in here, and when I'm done saying this, you come and stab me. That way it won't look like I'm the killer. And I think that was the reason, because she's like hiding her emotions, because you look at Hayden and she's all crying and shaking and stuff. Like, that's a real reaction if you're getting chased by a killer. Or Sydney, like her, like, wow, she freaks out. Jill, on the other hand, you don't see any fear, no emotions. You see the angel of death. What's your favorite scary movie? And it's like, you can just tell by these clips that there's something wrong with her. You know what I mean? So it's definitely right there that she's the killer. I'm sorry, it's not because I'm spoiling. It's obvious. And of course, Charlie, I mean, the look on his face is in a few places, and like, you can't kill Sydney. He's thinking about ideas and, like, all this stuff. And that's the other weird part about it. And I don't know. Like, I think those two are definitely put them her the test screening too. And I think they are the perfect killers right there. It's great to have a family member be one of the killers, because that way it brings much more a great ending to it, like a more suspenseful ending. Because if you bring up family members, then that adds more of a tragic or whatever, a much more powerful ending than instead of just an average slasher. Like the first Scream movie, Billy had a motive because he killed the mom. Because it was her fault because his mom left her. And that's what made the story much more interesting. Then Scream 2, Billy's mom came in, and I didn't really like that. Like a 50-year-old woman playing Ghostface, I didn't like that. I mean, sure, no one liked that. And you didn't really know who was Ghostface, like, at which part. I mean, Mickey was basically the killer throughout, and he did a good job. I think, yeah. And I wish it was just him, you know what I mean? Like, just him telling I'm gonna blame the movies and all that, just have that. Instead of having Billy Loomis's mother, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you gotta explain her, but they never explain the father, so what's the point? And then Scream 3, Roman, he was the brother. I mean, you have to do something like that. So of course they're gonna have Jill the killer, and you gotta do those kind of twists, I guess. And hopefully there'll be something at the end where something you never found out, or because I think I heard that, like, Sydney's dad died, and maybe Jill killed the dad, and you find out at the end something like that, like a twist. I'm getting out of hand here. When I first saw the Scream Awards trailer, I thought Courtney was the killer because she took off the mask, and I was like, no, because she was there probably just hiding as one of those at the party, set the cameras, like, for a second, it was those different ideas, I guess. And I'm sorry, I'm just letting this all out. I mean, I barely didn't talk all day, so I let this all out on you guys, and hopefully you guys will be watching this and all that. So yeah, I've had McDonald's, I've had bubble gum. I'm a very, very random person. Sometimes I crave McDonald's, sometimes I crave Dairy Queen, sometimes I crave Dr. Pepper, sometimes I crave Mountain Dew. Who doesn't want Mountain Dew? Come on. Some days I crave Grand Theft Auto, sometimes I crave Splinter Cell. Sometimes I crave horror, and sometimes I crave suspense or comedy. I'm not a huge fan of romance. when it comes to Twilight or Titanic than I do because there's action involved. And you put these characters through terrible situations. That's what makes the romance much more interesting and powerful. Instead of just, oh, I love you, I'm going to go by the beach in the ocean. You know, it's the same old stuff, and then whatever. But like I said, give Twilight a chance. I didn't like it at first because, I don't know, because girls were screaming about it. I didn't get what was so good about it. And then I watched it, and I was like, this is a masterpiece. And you just gotta watch it, give it a chance, and if you didn't like it, that's fine, but if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I mean, you know, it has a great storyline, and it's very dark, and you know, the characters are different. It's different from other romance films, and the action is just awesome, and the direction is great there. The music's great, the cinematography, the color. I mean, there's other great things to it besides the romance, and that was the same with Titanic. If you haven't seen Titanic, you have to go see it. That's the best movie ever made. Sorry. I mean, it's just so phenomenal. If you're a big fan of James Cameron, he did Avatar and Terminator and Aliens, you gotta check out Titanic because that's definitely his best and always will be his best movie. I don't think he can ever top that. I think the only director that can top any of one of his best films is Christopher Nolan. He topped The Dark Knight with Inception. I'm pretty sure he's going to top Inception with The Dark Knight Rises. Coming from the actors and everything, they said it surpasses the first two. And I think it will. I mean, you know, it's Christopher Nolan. I don't even care. I haven't seen anything yet, but I know already it's going to be a masterpiece. Why? Because it's Christopher Nolan. So, you know, it's Christopher Nolan. You can't deny it. So, it's like John Carpenter. You can't, any of his movies are going to be great, because he did Halloween. Wes Craven's a whole new story, because he has done a couple bad films, but people complain about, like, Red Eye and all that. I thought Red Eye was a good movie. I think it wasn't his fault, I think it was the script's fault, and he did not do too well with My Soul Take story. Yes, I thought it wasn't the best movie. I thought it was okay, though. But definitely the dialogue was just not, like, real, you know what I mean? Like, it won't just be, like, average, them talking about it. There'll be reasons why. And I really hope the dialogue's much more real and realistic. I'm trying to... I learned from you guys, and I was surprised that you guys liked the story, because I thought the story was the weakest point of the movie. But surprisingly, my mom and friends or whatever, they said the story was the best. Your direction was okay, but they thought the story was the best. I'm like, okay, I learned from that. Now I need to move on and create a better story. And I think this next one's gonna surpass the next film. It's gonna be much more bigger and much more affectionate, I guess, or I guess much more intense, I guess, and more real, I guess. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, I guess. I mean, I have loads of time, but I'm gonna get the script done before Scream 4 comes out. Why? Because I don't want to imitate anything from that movie. I want to make sure I have my story, I have what I want to do, and that way, I know what I'm doing. And if you guys want to know what happens at the end, you want to get the script, I'll send it to you. You can read it, and that way you have my back in case anyone says I'm imitating Scream 4 or anything like that. Because I'm not imitating anything. I'm doing my own thing with this movie. I'm making fun of the Scream movies. Sydney's gonna be making fun of the Scream movies. I gotta go. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.